I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Carpe diem. Seize the day.
I'm not gonna sit inside of a corporation for 20 years. The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great. People in this world shun people for being great, for being a bright color, for standing out. But the time is now to be okay to be the greatest you.
Hi, welcome to Sensible Mischief. I'm Lance Nelson, and with me today is the lovely, beautiful, elegant, breathtaking Benson P. Jones. Look at this beautiful bastard right here.
Thanks for having me.
This is my young Timothy Charlemagne. I don't mean that in a sexual fantasy-wise. I mean literally, he is my young Timothy Charlemagne.
Big things ahead.
We have things ahead. Stuff's coming. It's a brewing. But, yeah, we're in North Carolina, as you can hear with all the cicadas and crickets and gunshots. But yeah, it's a good place. I love it. Benson is here visiting family. Normally, we're kind of a little bit more Western ways, but we just had a cool family reunion at Nags Head, North Carolina, Kitty Hawk, where the Wright brothers flew for the first time ever.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Fun fact: we've been going there for about 40 years.
Yes.
This year, how many? 35 people around there?
It's ridiculous. There are too many of us. It's been a great time visiting on the East Coast. I miss the East Coast so much.
Yeah.
But Benson, you beautiful man. Look at you. Yeah, look at those dimples. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Lance, you beautiful bastard.
I have so many great memories of Benson. One of my favorites, and this isn't to throw you under the bus. This was just showing how cute he was as a kid. There was this one time that we were going from our grandma's house to your guys' house, and we were about to go in, and then Spencer's yelling from the car, and he notices you just kind of running inside. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it the shoes?
It's the shoes.
Yeah.
Could you tell the story? Because I'm butchering it.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. So it was, I'm pretty sure there was snow on the ground.
Yes.
Early January. They were here for like New Year's.
Yeah.
And we were going to visit my grandma, and I came out to the car to go see my grandma, and it was Spencer, my older brother, Lance, and I'm pretty sure Lance's brother, Dean, was there too. And I get out there, and I don't have any shoes on, and Spencer's like, what are you doing? Like, it's freezing cold outside. Where are your shoes? And logically, my response as an 8-year-old child was, every time I go to Grandma's house with shoes on, I lose them.
And I just remember this face on Spencer just being like, and then my brother Dean leans out the window. He's like, good thinking.
Such a funny story.
He's a great kid. I love him to death.
So, I'm actually a big fan of the podcast.
I've
watched all the episodes.
Oh my god!
I'll have to say my personal favorite was with Lindell.
Oh, he's cracking.
I mean, it really resonated with me because I knew all the characters to all the stories because they're all family. But I liked the layout of that one.
Yeah.
I was thinking about some stories.
What do you got?
So, the first time that my family's always, especially my dad, he's always not been afraid to like push the boundaries of like getting the best experience out of things. Like, he's not afraid to like at a concert, like if people aren't sitting in front of us at the concert, like, you know, the like stewardesses are like strict about you sitting in the in the seats ahead. So like he would always try to go move up in the rows, you know, and like we'd like lots of times we get told to go back to our seats and stuff. Yeah. But like a few times my dad in North Carolina, college basketball is like a big thing because North Carolina, Duke, and State are like kind of the biggest rivalry in college basketball. Yeah. And my dad and my mom both went to North Carolina. So, like, they're huge fans. And growing up, like, we watched every basketball game on TV. But occasionally, my dad would have to go to Chapel Hill for doctor's visits. Yeah. And sometimes, because I was homeschooled, he would take me with him. And we would just go, like, look around Chapel Hill and, like, eat at this restaurant that lots of times players go eat at. And, like, hope to see somebody. Like, we ran into Tyler Hansborough one time. But eventually, after like we had gone a few times, we decided that we were going to try to like sneak into the practice facility for the basketball team at Carolina, which is like one of the biggest college basketball programs.
Yeah.
And so the practice facility is literally an underground facility under the arena that they play in.
Awesome.
So during the day, the arena is actually just unlocked. And so we go and we're trying to find stairs to get downstairs, but the stairs are all blocked. And then we see an elevator. So we're like, okay, let's try that.
Yeah.
So we do it. We go downstairs. It opens up. We see all the players like literally working out in the weight room. Like we're just like standing there. And then we didn't want to like stay for a long time because it was kind of overstepping our boundaries. You know, it's not like we could just sit there and watch. But like we watched for a second, and then we just started walking, like seeing what we could see. We like looked through like a bunch of the rooms down there, and then eventually we decided to just dip and go back up. But like from that like experience, like I was always like trying to do things that normal people wouldn't do most times to like get a better experience, like not afraid to do that. So flash forward a few years later, this is in January of this year before the world went crazy.
Yep.
If you know me, you know that I'm one of the biggest Kanye West fans in the world.
It's true. He is.
I'm obsessed. Maybe an unhealthy obsession, but
it is a little bit. We're actually kind of concerned slightly.
I love the camera stare. So he'd been doing these Sunday services, and he had gone all over the place. He'd been to Utah, done a ton in LA, done a couple in different countries, done one in like a bunch of different cities around the U.S.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go so bad. I literally was obsessed with them. Like I would watch them on YouTube, like the whole thing. Like I watched every single one multiple times. And then I was just really hoping that they would come to Phoenix, but it seemed like they were like kind of slowing down the amount that they were doing. Yeah. But then one day it got announced that at this huge Christian like speakers event at ASU Stadium, Sunday service was going to come and perform a set. So I like follow some fan pages on Instagram of Kanye. Yeah. So like I saw them announce it like right when it happened, got on there. The tickets were free, and I was able to get me and my girlfriend at the time a ticket, and then go back in and get Spencer and another ticket too. I was so excited, but then it comes out that like the schedule for the event was not going to be released. It's from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Filled with speakers, Christian speakers.
So you could just get lucky. Like either you got to be there for the 12 hours or just be there at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was really hot I guess it wasn't really hot, but it was just...
It's Arizona. It's always hot.
Yeah, it's always pretty hot. It was just be a long day.
Yeah.
But I was so determined to like get a good place, like good seat or whatever, get as close as possible to the stage, because it's a huge arena. Like if we were up in the nosebleeds, it would not be half as fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I get there early with my girlfriend at like, the doors open at 9, get there at 8:45, and when I get there at 8:45, there's a line full of like just people there for the speakers wrapping around the whole stadium. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like, am I really going to go get in this line and then stay here all day?
Yeah.
And funny enough, like, me and Spencer also had a show at Sozo that night at 7. So, like, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to be there for it. Like, that's how committed I was to it.
Like,
there's a chance that I might see.
I have a show tonight. I'd rather see Yeezy.
Yeah, and Spencer was literally like, dude, like, if you wait there all day and he doesn't come out, like, I'll literally just perform the set by myself and I'll explain it and it'll be fine. And I was like, that was, like, tempting, super tempting, because I'm such a big fan. And so once we saw the line there, it was like, we're not going to wait in line all day. We can just chill out, like chill in Tempe, go like shop or go get food and just like hang out until we hear them start the set, because like literally it was like you could hear the speakers from where we were.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. Like we went and got breakfast, and then we chilled in the car. Then we went to Urban Outfitters, did some stuff to kill time. But going back and forth, we were like looking out for people that like might actually No, or at least I was. So like we're walking past, there's this van that's unloading like streaming like cameras and stuff to like, and it looked like it was like a streaming service.
Okay.
And so I just stopped and asked them, I was like, hey, do you guys know what time Kanye's coming on? And they're like, 3. They just told me. And like nobody else really knew that. And so I decide that's like at 1 o'clock. So like I'm like at 2 we're gonna go in, and we're just gonna try to find a way to get onto the field.
Yeah.
So at 2 we go in. The field, everybody in on the football field that's close up to the stage has these wristbands, and like I have no idea how you even got the wristbands. Like I think it just might have been like certain selected people. And so we're walking down trying to get past the security guards, but there's like 2 security guards at every entryway to the field.
Yeah.
And then behind me, I hear this guy that's like asking people to volunteer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I go up to him and I'm like, what did you...
Sorry about that.
I thought you were waving at somebody. I'm so dead. I said, hey, were you just asking those people to like volunteer? And he's like, yeah, we're looking for what is it called at churches? Like the volunteers that seat people? Ushers, yeah. We're looking for ushers to collect the like tithing basically.
All right.
And also like make sure that everybody like is good in their section. I was like, would it put us on the field? And my girlfriend at the time was like looking at me crazy, like, what is wrong with you? Like we like I do not want to do this. I was like, okay, we'll volunteer. So he takes us up to this room where all the volunteers are. It's like where the like box seating is kinda. It's like this just open big area, and there's like everybody in there has these vests on, these like orange, looks like construction vests.
Yeah, man.
So we go up to the table, they ask for our names, we get the vests. It's like there's like 8 or 9 of us.
This seems very trusting of just
Facts.
random people just being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna collect money and all I need is just a name, don't leave the driver's license or anything.
Seriously.
All you have to do is just be like, what I'm suggesting, don't do that.
Yeah, that's a terrible business move. I felt uncomfortable doing that in the first place. I was just trying to get on the field.
Of course. Goes without saying.
So then they tell me that we're not going to be on the field, that we're going to be doing one of the upper levels. And I'm like, this is not the move.
This is not.
So they tell us that the group leader is going to come get us in like 15 minutes when the shift ends for the other people. And there we can just sit and watch the game, or sit and watch the speakers until we get brought. And while we're there, like there's these weird people, and they're like, we hold hands and do this prayer, and like everybody, it just was so because they were like not dissing prayer or anything. It was just different than what I was used to, and people were like all talking during the prayer and like just different for me, right?
Yeah.
And we go and sit down after the prayer, and I get Mallory to come like sit like kind of away from everybody else. And then like right when they're like not paying attention, I'm like, all right, we got to dip. So we go back into the big room, and by then we have the vest, so we just blend in with everybody. We walk right out the door, go back down to where we had gotten turned away before, walk right past the people. I was like acting like I was like on a mission to. Some people came up and asked me questions while I was walking down. They're like, "Where's the bathroom?" I like do a quick scan. I'm like, "It's over there." Like just on the fly, going through, and like we get past the guards or like the people checking for wristbands.
Yeah.
And go straight to the front of the pit. We keep the vest on. I'm like, excuse me, gotta get through here.
Smart man.
All the way to the very middle of the pit, like literally 5 feet away from where the stage is. And then right as we got there, that's when Sunday service came out. Like it was just perfect timing. It was amazing set. I loved every minute of it. Sunday service, like the choir came out into the crowd, like right near us. And then like after they finished, everybody was like, a lot of people were leaving the pit because that's what they came to see.
Yeah.
And we're like walking away, and then like I see that it's just like those metal fences that separate things at concerts, separating from like the backstage to the stage area, you know, or the backstage to the like where the seating is. And so, like, I just opened the fence, walked right through. Mallory's like, what are you doing? And I just had to leave her because I didn't want her to, like make me look weird, you know, like having a conversation right at the fence like that.
Yeah.
So I just walked straight back. As the choir is literally coming off the stage, I walked with the choir into the green room where they're, like, eating their dinner. And, like, I got to have a conversation with the choir leader. And, like, I was obsessed with Sunday service. Like, it was really cool for me to meet that guy. Like, he wouldn't be a celebrity to most people, but, like, I got to have, like, a cool conversation with him.
I'm assuming that's the guy that during James Corden's bit where, like, they were flying on the jet, like, he's the one
the leader.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just, like, a really cool guy.
He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. It was really dope. So, and, like, I feel like that's the definition of sensible mischief.
It really is. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was cool. Kanye wasn't in the room because he left the stage a little early. I walked. This is funny. I was, like, trying desperately to find Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, walking down the halls, like, out. I went past the room where they were eating, like, and then, like, they're like, everybody, we got to eat on the bus. So, like, they start to leave. I'm like, Kanye might be out there. So, like, I walk with them out to the bus, and then Kanye's not out there, and I was like, dang it. But missed him by a few minutes. But
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was dope.
That's crack up.
The whole time I was thinking.
How old were you when this happened? 18?
Yeah.
We have very different childhoods. I would have been like, hey, you guys want to play Halo? We could collect, like, some Digimon cards or something.
That's not true, because Spencer one time told me recently, after I became such a big Kanye fan, he was like, I remember me, Dean, and Lance were having a conversation when we were, like, 16 or 17, just asking hypothetical questions, and Dean asked the question, if you were on a desert island, what album would you bring with you to the desert island if you could pick one to listen to? And he said 808s and Heartbreak. And
it's a great album.
It's a great album.
I love it.
But he was wavy way back then.
I just remember they both looked at me like I was crazy. They're like,
yeah, they were.
What? Really? I was like, yeah, I love Kanye.
I love Kanye like Kanye loves Kanye.
That's a lot of love right there. I think Kanye West is a genius. The problem is he knows it.
It's beautifully said.
Yeah. Stole it from Bill Simmons. Oh, man. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know. Like, I knew that you went to go see, like, Sunday service. I had no idea the depths that you saw.
I wanted to save it for this.
I
to
appreciate
tell you.
that.
Yes.
No one appreciates that more than I do. Oh, fuck.
I have, like, a video, this selfie video of me walking, because I was, like, going around, like, telling everybody good job, like it was church or something, you know, like, I was just like, hey, y'all killed it, thank you so much for that, and I have this video of me, and I'm, like, I have the camera pointed this way, and I'm, like, showing everything, and I turn the camera on, and I'm, like,
oh, that's crack up, man.
So funny.
Oh, I love that.
And we never got caught either. We just dipped.
Honestly, it's the great thing about, like, when you have professional equipment like what I got, I can just walk into concerts and they just let me in the front row. They're just like, oh, you're here, right? And do you want to get backstage? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've done that to multiple stuff.
That's so sick. I feel like if you just go anywhere, like, I read a thing talking about, it was this article talking about Kanye's rally that he did in Charleston where he that was in the news a lot. And this guy said that he showed up early and just started helping set up and, like, acting like he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And asking people what they needed him to do and stuff. And then by the end of, like, by the time it was about to start, people were, like, asking him, what do you want us to do and stuff? Like, what's next or whatever. And I was like, it was, like, a point to, like, say that it was, like, unorganized. And I'm like, I feel like you could do that at anything if you just showed up with the right energy. You know?
If you got confidence, you can pull off anything.
One time, Lindell, he did this. Yeah. We were at this basketball tournament, like the basketball tournament that's on ESPN, because we were with, like, Jimmer Fredette's team, and we had, like, the passes to go back in, like, because we were with the team or whatever, we could go like back into the locker room and stuff. And Lindell didn't have a pass. We didn't have enough passes for him. He didn't even have a ticket to get into the game. And he just wore his, like, light blue suit. I think he might have worn that Insensible Mischief,
Yeah.
right? He has this like light blue suit tailored to perfection.
Got a
He's
Rolex.
wearing his Rolex. He has this like little flower like thing that's like
course he
made of
does.
solid gold.
Why not?
Like,
Of course he does.
like, and it looks just so pimp. He rolled in there with no tie, just like looking so fresh, and
Yeah.
he was just walking back and forth. Nobody was stopping him. Nobody was asking
Yeah,
him
man.
any questions. So funny. You just gotta
That's the
look
thing.
the part.
Look the part. You blend right in. When I was interviewing Spencer earlier, he said, I'm calling it. Benson Jones. He's going to make it. And I agree. Look at this handsome devil right here.
I hope he's right. And if I make it, we all make it.
Uh-huh.
The whole team.
All right. Well, dude, thank you so much for being on this. And, dude, I love that story. Thank you so much for telling it.
Thanks for
And I hope
having me.
that
Lance.
people can just, like, listen to that and then just be like, yeah.
Let's do it.
Like, because of you went above and beyond. And you had this amazing experience out of it.
Yeah.
And everyone else would have just been like, oh, like, you know, I wanted to go to the show, but I decided not to just because it's a 12-hour wait. You, like, went outside your comfort zone. I don't even know if you have a comfort zone, but you were just like, hey, you know what? What time does Kanye play? 3. All right.
I had to make it
How
happen.
can I get on the field? We'll take people if you pick up tithing. All right, we're doing this now.
We might pocket some of the money. No, just kidding. if we don't get to see Kanye, we're definitely pocketing some of this money. Just kidding.
I'm just saying, forever. Wait, what was the place? Nordstrom was just down the street. But dude, thanks so much for being on this, man.
Thanks for having me. It's always a good time talking to
I
you.
love you, dude.
Love you too, Lance.
Thanks for watching. Bye.